Life has a way of piling up on us. Every day we wake up fresh, full of intentions, only to find ourselves bogged down by stress, bad habits, and distractions. Think back to the start of the year. Remember how determined you were to turn over a new leaf. And yet here we are, just a few months in, already slipping back into old routines. But here's the good news. You can reset at any time. The Stoics believe that life is not about avoiding the dust and grime of existence, but about constantly clearing it away. Today, we're going to talk about 9 toxic habits that may be weighing you down, and more importantly, how to break free from them. Stick around, because the last one might just be the game changer you need. 1. Negative thinking. It's easy to get caught in a cycle of negativity. But what if your thoughts are actually creating the very problems you fear? In fact, negativity can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and if left unchecked, it can shape your entire reality. Picture this. You wake up, and the first thing that crosses your mind is, "Today is going to be awful." And then, as if on cue, everything seems to go wrong. Traffic is worse than usual, a coworker is rude, and an important email goes unanswered. Suddenly, it feels like the universe is conspiring against you. But what if your mindset is the real culprit here? Most people assume their thoughts simply reflect reality. But in truth, your mind is shaping your world. You see, the Stoics taught that external events don't control us. Our perceptions do. So what if, instead of letting negativity take over, you trained yourself to see challenges as opportunities? What if, when something went wrong, you thought, "This is a chance to grow stronger"? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, what you perceive as obstacles are actually stepping stones. So the next time a negative thought creeps in, pause. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me, or is it simply reinforcing a false narrative? Then reframe it in a way that strengthens you. I used to let negative thoughts consume me. A single bad morning would ruin my entire day. But then I started practicing a simple Stoic exercise. Every time a negative thought popped into my head, I'd ask, "What can I learn from this?" At first it felt unnatural, but over time my mindset shifted. Now I see challenges as opportunities, and my life has transformed because of it. Here's the truth. Negativity is a habit, but so is resilience. And the good news, you get to choose which one you strengthen. Once you change how you think, you change everything. So why not start today? 2. Procrastination and delaying change. We all say we'll start tomorrow. But what if tomorrow never comes? The truth is, time keeps moving forward, whether we take action or not. Think about that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's a career change, a fitness goal, or fixing a bad habit. You tell yourself, "I'll start next week." But then next week turns into next month. And before you know it, years have passed, and you're still in the same place, wondering where the time went. Does that sound familiar? Most people justify procrastination by saying they'll wait for the right moment. But here's the problem. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The Stoics knew this well. Seneca warned, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." Instead of waiting, what if you just took action, no matter how small? The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death, not to be morbid, but to remind themselves that time is finite. If you knew you had only a year left, would you still delay? The key is momentum. Start with one small step today, no matter how imperfect, because action creates clarity, and clarity leads to progress. I used to put off learning new skills, waiting for the perfect time. I always told myself I'd start once I had more time, once I felt more confident, once everything lined up just right. But then I asked myself, if not now, when? That question changed everything. I started small, just 10 minutes a day, and that tiny habit led to massive results. The hardest part is always starting. Everything after that gets easier. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. And action, any action, is the cure. The truth is, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need to begin. So why wait? The best time to start is right now. 3. Being indecisive about morals and values. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But how often do you hesitate when faced with a moral dilemma? Imagine this. You're in a group setting and someone suggests something unethical, a minor lie, a shortcut at work, or a small act of dishonesty. You feel uncomfortable, but instead of speaking up, you stay silent. You rationalize it's not a big deal. But deep down, you know you compromise your values. Most people waver when it comes to morals and values. They adjust their principles based on convenience. But the Stoics believe that virtue is not negotiable. Epictetus said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." What if, instead of being indecisive, you stood firm in your values no matter the pressure? The Stoics saw moral integrity as the foundation of a meaningful life. Seneca wrote, "A good character once established is not easily overthrown. To practice this, define your values ahead of time. When faced with a moral dilemma, don't hesitate. Act in alignment with your principles. Over time, your decisions will become second nature." I once worked in a job where bending the rules was considered normal. At first, I justified it. Everyone else was doing it. But eventually, I realized that each time I ignored my values, I chipped away at my self-respect. So I made a choice. I stopped compromising. I spoke up. And though it wasn't easy, it gave me something priceless: peace of mind. Moral integrity isn't something you adjust based on the situation. It's the core of who you are. The moment you compromise once, it becomes easier to do it again. Stand firm. Make your values non-negotiable. In doing so, you'll build unshakable confidence and self-respect. 4. Responding to every request and distraction. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Yet in today's world, distractions are everywhere. But what if you took control instead of reacting to every demand for your time? Imagine this. You sit down to work on something important, but within minutes your phone buzzes, a friend texts you, an email notification pops up, a colleague asks for just a minute of your time. Before you know it, hours have slipped away and you've barely made any progress. Sound familiar? Most people feel obligated to respond instantly to every notification, message, or request. But the Stoics knew that control over the mind is essential. Seneca warned, "If you do not control your busy life, it will control you." What if, instead of giving in to distractions, you became more intentional about where you focus your energy? The Stoics believed in focusing only on what is within our control. You can't prevent distractions from appearing, but you can decide how to respond. Start by setting clear boundaries. Turn off notifications, schedule uninterrupted deep work time, and prioritize what truly matters. When you protect your focus, You gain clarity and power over your time. I used to answer every message immediately, convinced that being available at all times made me productive. But in reality, I was constantly distracted, and my most important work suffered. Then I made a change. I started blocking out time for focused work, setting no interruption hours, and silencing unnecessary notifications. The result? I got more done in half the time, and my stress levels dropped dramatically. Distraction is a choice. So is focus. The world will always try to pull your attention in different directions, but you have the power to decide what deserves it. Set boundaries, take control, and watch how much more you accomplish. 5. Rushing without purpose. Are you constantly busy but never truly productive? It's easy to mistake motion for progress, but in reality, running in circles only drains your energy. Picture this. Your day starts in a frenzy. You rush from task to task, answer emails while eating breakfast, and juggle multiple conversations at once. By the end of the day, you feel exhausted. But when you look back, you realize you didn't accomplish anything truly meaningful. Does that sound familiar? Most people equate busyness with success, but the Stoics knew better. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." What if, instead of rushing, you focused on being intentional with your time? What if you prioritize deep, meaningful work over scattered, frantic activity? The Stoics valued deep focus and clarity of purpose. Instead of scattering your energy, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this truly necessary? Does this align with my long-term goals? When you slow down and act with intention, life becomes more fulfilling, and success follows naturally. I used to pride myself on being constantly busy, checking emails late at night, attending endless meetings, always feeling on. But at the end of each day, I felt drained and unfulfilled. Then I realized I wasn't working smart. I was just working endlessly. I started prioritizing tasks that truly moved the needle forward and cutting out distractions. The difference was life-changing. There's a difference between being busy and being effective. The Stoics teach us that purpose-driven action is far superior to mindless motion. If you find yourself constantly rushing, pause and ask, am I truly making progress, or am I just staying occupied? Slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. It means moving forward with purpose. 6. Holding grudges and resentment. Are you holding on to past pain, replaying old wrongs in your mind? Resentment is like carrying a heavy backpack. You think it protects you, but it only weighs you down. Imagine running into someone who wronged you years ago. Instantly, all the emotions come rushing back: anger, bitterness, resentment. But here's the catch: they've moved on. Meanwhile, you're still carrying the weight of something that no longer exists. And worse, that burden is slowing you down in every other aspect of your life. Most people hold on to grudges, believing it gives them power or justice. But Epictetus warned, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. What if, instead of clinging to anger, you chose to let go? The Stoics taught that we suffer more in our minds than in reality. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from emotional chains. The next time resentment surfaces, ask, is this worth my peace? Then make the conscious decision to release it. After all, why should someone who hurt you once continue to control your thoughts for years? I once spent years resenting a former friend who betrayed my trust. Every time I thought about it, I felt anger boiling up. But then I realized this anger wasn't hurting them. It was only weighing me down. So I let it go, and in that moment I felt lighter than ever. It didn't change the past, but it changed my future. Letting go of resentment isn't weakness, it's strength. The past only has power if you keep feeding it. Choose peace over bitterness, and you'll find yourself truly free. 7. Letting external events control you. Are you constantly reacting to things outside your control? Life throws unexpected challenges at us daily, but how you respond is what truly defines you. Imagine you're driving to work and someone cuts you off in traffic. Instantly, your mood shifts. You feel irritated, maybe even enraged. You carry that frustration into your day, snapping at colleagues, struggling to focus, and feeling on edge. All because of something that lasted 5 seconds. But what if you had the power to stop that reaction before it took over your entire day? Most people let external events dictate their emotions. They react impulsively, believing that their feelings are justified. But the Stoics knew better. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of giving power to outside circumstances, what if you took control of your responses? What if, instead of immediately reacting, you trained yourself to pause, breathe, and choose your next move wisely? The Stoics believed in the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our power while others are not. When something happens, ask yourself, can I change this? If the answer is no, then why waste energy on it? Train yourself to pause before reacting, choosing rationality over impulse. This shift in perspective not only prevents unnecessary stress, but also puts you back in control of your life. I used to let the smallest things ruin my day: bad weather, rude strangers, unexpected delays. But then I started practicing Stoic detachment. Now when something annoying happens, I take a deep breath and ask, is this worth my peace? More often than not, the answer is no. And just like that, I let it go. This simple shift has made my life infinitely more peaceful and productive. External events will always happen. You can't control the world, but you can control your response. Master your reactions, and you master your life. The next time something outside your control happens, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Choose to respond, not react. Your peace of mind is worth protecting. 8. Surrounding yourself with false friends. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain people? It's as if their negativity, jealousy, or indifference slowly chips away at your energy and confidence. But here's something to consider. What if the company you keep is shaping your destiny more than you realize? Picture this. You finally achieve something you've worked hard for, a promotion, a fitness goal, or a personal breakthrough. Excitedly, you share the news with your friends, but instead of celebrating with you, they downplay your success, change the subject, or make a sarcastic remark. You feel that sting of disappointment, but you tell yourself, maybe I'm overreacting. But are you? Most people ignore these red flags, afraid of losing friendships or being alone. But Seneca warned, associate with those who will make a better man of you. In other words, the people around you should inspire growth, not stifle it. Instead of clinging to relationships that drain you, what if you made a conscious choice to surround yourself with those who uplift and challenge you? The Stoics believe that true friendship is built on virtue, not convenience. If someone belittles your growth, constantly brings negativity into your life, or takes more than they give, they are not a real friend. Real friendships are about mutual support, honesty, and accountability. The next time you notice a pattern of toxic behavior, ask yourself, does this person add value to my life? If the answer is no, it may be time to create distance. I used to keep certain people in my life simply because of history. But over time, I realized that some friendships were built on habit, not mutual growth. When I started surrounding myself with people who inspired me, everything changed. Conversations became more meaningful, my motivation skyrocketed, and I felt a renewed sense of purpose. You become the sum of the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Cut ties with those who stunt your growth, and invest in relationships that elevate you. Your future self will thank you. The next time you're with a group of friends, pay attention. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? 9. Wasting new opportunities for growth. How often do you let fear, doubt, or hesitation stop you from stepping into new opportunities? Life constantly presents us with chances to grow, but if we hesitate too long, those chances slip away. Imagine this. You get offered a chance to take on a new project at work, start a fitness program, or learn a skill that could change your life. But instead of saying yes, you hesitate. You start overthinking, doubting yourself, or telling yourself that you'll do it later. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, the opportunity is gone. And just like that, you're stuck in the same place, wondering what could have been. Most people avoid change because it feels uncomfortable. They tell themselves, I'll do it when I'm ready. But here's the truth. There's no perfect time to start. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Instead of waiting for everything to be perfectly aligned, what if you simply decided to take action despite the uncertainty? The Stoics believed in taking action despite fear. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The key is to stop hesitating and start moving. Growth happens when we lean into discomfort. Instead of waiting for the stars to align, take a step forward today, no matter how small. I used to overthink every decision, afraid of making the wrong choice. I wanted guarantees before taking action, but in doing so, I missed out on so many opportunities. One day I made a conscious choice to start saying yes to challenges, even when I didn't feel ready. I started small, taking on new projects, joining events, and meeting new people. Before I knew it, I had grown in ways I never imagined. Looking back, my biggest regrets weren't the risks I took, but the chances I let slip away. Opportunities don't wait. The best way to grow is to take action, even when you feel unprepared. The next time an opportunity comes your way, don't waste time doubting yourself. Seize it. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve when you stop waiting and start doing. The Stoics understood that our lives are shaped by the habits we build and the ones we choose to break. If you've recognized yourself in any of these toxic habits, don't be discouraged. Awareness is the first step to change. Now it's up to you to take action. Start small. Pick one habit from this list and commit to working on it. Over time, these small improvements will compound, leading to a life of greater resilience, purpose, and peace. As Marcus Aurelius put it, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Leave a comment and let me know. What's one habit you're committed to quitting today? Until next time, stay strong and stay stoic.